Great. So shifting gears, pre-ISB, Ambika, you were into tennis, right? You took that up as a career. Um, what kind of drew you to tennis at such a serious level? And I just wanted to understand your inspiration and also your training regimen.
Right. I mean, when I got into tennis, it was more, I was a kid. My parents said, hey, you should probably put her in some sports. It'll be like an outlet for her energy. So I was in Delhi. They used to take me to Delhi Gymkhana Club. I used to just hit against the wall there. And I think somewhere, some coach or one of the older gentlemen who play at these clubs saw me and said, hey, she looks like she has potential. Why don't you put her in structured training or a coaching program? And then they just put me in there. I was like 5 or 6. And then I just started going, for 1 hour every other day. Like you have those sessions, those coaching sessions that are set up. And then I started going for sessions and, you start entering those under 10, under 12 tournaments and I actually started doing well. And a lot of coaches at least said, hey, she's athletic, she seems to have the right skill set. Um, she seems to at least be enjoying this. So, keep at it. And that's how it really grew. It wasn't it, at that age, I didn't really know if I wanted to do this or not. I was just going because my parents are like, hey, I've put you in this tournament, go play. Or, hey, there's this coaching session, just go finish your session and come back. I did enjoy running around. I did enjoy sports. I playing football and basketball at that age. So this was just one more sport that I was doing. And then I think at some point when I was 10 or 11, I actually started getting pretty good results. I started getting noticed, at least by a lot of national coaches, where they said they'd actually come to my parents. And my parents also didn't know anything, right? Nobody in my family's actually played sport at the level I did. So you don't really know at what point, is your kid good and should they pursue this full time or not. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I was lucky at about 14. I got uh my coach. I found my coach Vishal. So his name's Vishal Uppal. He used to be a former Davis Cupper for India. He's won medals. He's represented India internationally. And I think he was really the guy who sort of guided me and, made sure I reached where I did in tennis. But that I think is really important, right? Finding the right coach who you align with. There are different coaching methods and there are different ways of training a person. For me, his coaching ideology really, I think, mirrored how I wanted to pursue sport, which really helped. And yeah, that's when I started pursuing it professionally. Not professionally, obviously, at 14, but with the goal to at least make it as a professional player. That guidance really helped. In terms of training regimen, I mean, I look back and I'm like, I don't know how I did it. Uh, it was pretty tough. But at that time, I think when you're doing it day in and day out for years, it seems pretty. You don't know anything else. Let's see. I used to get up at 6, have breakfast, reach the courts at 7. You have maybe a 2.5 hour training session on the court, and then you have like an hour of just fitness, right? Which would just be court drills, or you go to the track and you whatever, you run sprints or you run for an hour or whatever else. So from 7 to probably 10:30 is the morning session. Um, and then you go, you rest, you have lunch, and then you're back on the court at like 2 or 3, depending on if it's winter, you probably reach the court later. Earlier, if it's summer, then you probably reach later. And then yeah, again a 2.5 hour session in the evening, just on the court, and then you go for a weight. You do your weight training for about 45 minutes to an hour, and after that, get back home, have dinner. You're asleep by 9:30, 10. And I used to do that for 6 days a week. So Monday to Friday were 2 sessions, and Saturday was only a morning session. So we used to get a day and a half off during the week. When you were approaching tournaments, then it would become a little easier, where you start tapering off, where you're still doing 2 sessions, but instead of doing like 3-4 hour sessions in the morning and evening, you're probably doing a session in the morning, a session in the evening. And then by the time you approach the tournament, you're probably doing 1 session a day. But yeah, that was at least the regimen. I don't know how I did it. I mean, I look back now at this point, like doing an hour workout a day tires me out. So
Yeah. But then how did you balance out your academics, right? Your studies with your training? Obviously, you would have focused more on training, but then how did you balance it out?
right. Yeah, so I honestly, there was not too much of balance, to be very honest. By, I mean, I was homeschooled for grades 11 and 12. I was just playing tennis full time. Even before that, I would go to school for exams, but that's it. I was not really studying or doing anything. I have a sister who was doing her exams. I have a twin sister, so she at least helped me out with a lot of her notes and things like that. But I mean, I was not really focused on academics at all. So when people say that balance and all of that, right? I don't think I had that. I was just doing tennis full time.
Hmm. Got it. And then what happened? At what point in time did you decide that, okay, let's leave tennis out and then move on to other things?
Right. So yeah, the goal was always to, I think, turn pro. And at least the way I was performing I mean, I was top 5 in India, I was top 200 in the world. So early indicators of at least that I had what it took. I had the potential, at least potential to, actually becoming a real is another step. So I got a scholarship to the States. I was at the University of Tennessee for 2 years to play tennis and then, also get a degree. And then I was at Nicholls State University in Louisiana for another 2 years. So college tennis is actually a way for a lot of young folks to turn pro, where you basically go for 4 years and you play full time there, right? While you're also studying there. That there's no such thing, honestly, in a US university. Um, if you go there as a student athlete, you're going there to play sports. So the thought was that, hey, I'll do 4 years of college tennis and then, you know, go on tour for a couple of years, play like your lower level ITFs, and then see what happens, right? If there are results and you start performing well, then you commit to it and you stay on. Otherwise, we figure out what to do. That didn't really play out the way I thought it would. I got injured in my freshman year. I tore my rotator cuff. Uh, I had to have surgery, and the recovery process took a lot of time. When I came back, I think I came back early. I didn't rehab too well, so I tore it again, and then I was told that I would have to probably have another surgery. So at that point, I was already 20, 21, and it it would probably have taken me another year or so to recover, come back, be fully fit. And then after that, building up again. I was already like a few years behind my peers, and tennis is a sport, right? Like by the time you're 26, 27, you've reached your peak. After that, it becomes tough to sustain just because the load it takes on your body. Obviously, you have outliers like Federer, Nadal, who've played till they're 35, 40, but on average, 28 to 30 is considered old for a pro. So I was like, hey, I'm already 21. It's going to 2021. It's going to take me a couple of years at least to go back to where I was originally, right? Forget adding those extra levels to where I want to be playing. And at that point, my relationship with tennis also was not good, right? With injuries and things like that. I was just not in a good place. So I was like, hey, let's just at least forget about it. I don't want to do this tennis thing anymore. So that's when I came back. And then for about 2, 3 years, I worked in a sports startup. I didn't really know what to do after tennis. So I worked in a sports startup. I thought, hey, if I can't play, let me at least, um, work in it. And then, yeah, I figured out what I wanted to do. After 3 years, realized ki don't want to work in sports in India. It's a very murky, place to be. It's not very well structured. And figured, okay, let's go do an MBA and figure things out. And then that's how I landed up at ISB.